We shift into supercars mode for this edition of the KTM Summer Grill. Nice to have you with us, joined by Andrew Van Leeuwen and Dan Herrero. And on the line, he's clearly enjoying his holiday break from a park somewhere. Hello, Nick Percat.
How are we?
Great to have you with us, mate. Let's look back on the 2023 year, but I guess in some respects you're already looking forward to 2024.
Yeah, look, it was a tough year, but happens in life. It's not always smooth sailing, and yeah, definitely got one eye on next year, but try not to get too excited. I'm getting charged by Nelson.
Just walk us through what's going on there. That's
Nelson.
Nelson.
We're at the dog park.
Hey?
We're at the dog park. We've just had a wash. So he's a bit up and about.
Love it. We'll juggle that. Keep going.
Take my every dog. Yeah, so obviously 2023 didn't go the right way, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next year.
Obviously, as a professional athlete, you know, and as a human being, those tough seasons like that, how big a toll has it actually taken on you personally? I mean, we can't hide from the fact things haven't gone the way that anybody expected them to go. How tough's it actually been over the past two seasons?
Yeah, 100%. I think this year was like my worst season ever. It's the first time in my career from 7-year-old go-karting Nick to now that I haven't got a trophy in whatever I was racing. So yeah, it was tough. Obviously far from ideal, but I think on the flip side, got good people around me, even stuff with that karting team that I've got going on. You know, the kids still, you know, love it. They keep me fairly grounded because it kind of helps me remind, you know, when I was their age, I dreamt to be in a supercar. And to be honest, probably a few of them that kept me on the grid for next year. I was probably close to being done, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, when you look at them and other people around me and they go, mate, there's 26 or whatever you want to call it, seats on the grid. You're very, very lucky to be doing what you're doing. It was a very good motivation to, you know, get that deal done with MSR, and we'll continue.
Just expand on that a little bit, if you will. When you say you were pretty close to being done, was there a moment in 2023 where you thought that was going to be the case?
I had people wanting me to drive. It was more I wasn't that keen to do it, to be honest. Yeah, I needed to make sure I was in the right spot with the right people around. And yeah, it wasn't the most thrilling couple of years. So yeah, I was like, you know what, maybe I've got more enjoyment out of helping the young guys come through and mentor the young karters and stuff that I've got going on there. So yeah, definitely a point where I was like, nah, I probably had enough of being bashed into the ground. But yeah, then on the flip side, after Tail and Bend, I think it was a couple of weeks after, had some small dialogue with Matt, and Tail and Bend kind of was like, yeah, you know what, still can drive. You know, we finished fourth there, and when the car was right, it was no stress. Yeah, jumped on the plane, went up there, and within 25 minutes of being there probably, I was like, oh, actually, this has got the right feel about it, and I want to have a crack and see if, you know, we can do a deal. And I think within an hour, it was all done, and I was happy to be. I got back on the plane, you know, excited to be continuing, where on the way up there, I wasn't sure. So yeah, it probably says a lot about Matt and his culture and his team. Pretty cool.
What, do you have any insight into why it didn't work at WAU? Like, you're a proven race winner, but it just didn't seem to happen there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, to be honest. There's no lack of trying from both parties. No, I look at it, back at it. I think, you know, when I was at BJR, I had a run there where there was different teammates and different people driving the cars, and it didn't work out for them. So I think when you're ingrained in the team, it makes a huge difference. And you know, I've said to Chaz, I've said it to Bruce and everyone. I said, Chaz, you know, you've got a good thing going here. You know, you need to maximise that position you're in, because it's not always greener on the other side. So yeah, I think just for whatever reason, it didn't kind of pan out. You know, we had this year, I think a lot of it stemmed down to it was just pure chance of the Gen 3 things going on. I think at one point there we're up to like 16, I call it Gen 3 mechanical failures from like 17 races or whatever, you know, 17 sessions. So even that, you didn't get a fair shot at getting a result, because you're missing practice sessions, you're missing pre-season testing. I think one of them, my car didn't even run for the majority of the day. Like I think I worked out before round one, I'd done about a quarter of the miles in a Gen 3 car to others. So, it's just a snowball effect. And, like I said, no lack of trying from the WAU guys. But, just for whatever reason, things in life don't work out. And that's what I kind of put it down to. I was like, it just wasn't meant to be. So, press on. And I think the good thing is it was amicable. There was no dramas. It was all just, shit happens, really.
So what you said, it took about 25 minutes to make up your mind at MSR's workshop. What was it exactly that was so appealing and that basically brought you back from the precipice?
Oh, they're races, just pure races. Matt took me through the factory and it was like, the way he trains the mechanics and teaches them every craft you need to be a supercar mechanic rather than a road car mechanic, I guess you'd call it that. Like it's, he's like, we teach them how to weld, we teach them how to paint, we have all this going on. I think that was the big thing. I could see how much it meant to him as well, not just, the driving group. And then obviously the link in with T8, which I wasn't actually really aware of until I went up there, that they debrief, pre-brief with T8 and there's some data share there. I thought I was putting myself in a pretty cool spot with them, and I guess the smaller team felt like it was all about racing, not so much about racing and commercial. So that's probably what appealed to me the most. It was kind of reminded me of a little bit of BJR, a little bit of Sonic, all the way I go about the karting stuff. We're just there to go fast, and that's all that matters. So I think that's what probably got me over the line. And he didn't even know he was saying the right things. It was just halfway through the conversation, I had a smile on my face. I'm like, we need to make it happen. So I thought, to be honest, I asked the people around me if you ever spoke to them, Bailey and everyone in my life, they were like, oh, he was done. But it's, I'm very excited. To be honest, I'm trying not to say too much. It's still December. I'm still working for WAU, obviously. So it's it's an exciting time though.
You brought up the karting team and the love that you have for that project. Just give us a sense for the audience of how big that undertaking is, why it excites you, and why you've ventured down that path.
I think the reason I ventured down the path is because of I think it's hard to get an opportunity now. Like harder, even in karting, it's very hard to get the right opportunity with the right equipment. Because karting kind of left the scene of dad and son in a trailer to now you need to be with a team with the right chassis under you and stuff like that. So it's very, very professional now, which is great for karting. But on the flip side, it probably makes it harder for nearly the everyday parents and kids to get it done. So I wanted to put a program together with some sponsors around the team that meant I could grab the kids that don't have the big budget to go racing. And where talent outweighs the money, I'm trying to put them in front of the right people. If I can do that, who knows? But I'm trying to give them a chance and get them on the big scene in karting in a different way. And then, the workload is large in setting it up. I think when I announced it mid-year, and that was already a couple of months after I'd decided I was doing it and started the process. And when you've got 15 karts in the factory now, 10 of them are being raced and used for testing, and another 5 will come on during the year for the drivers. Then you need the toolboxing, the spares. Like, it's a lot. It's honestly as big as what I probably remember a Formula Ford team being, So there's a lot that goes on, which is cool. And I think the big love for it is I get to meet all the kids that are aspiring to do what I'm doing. Even on the weekend, I raced at the Victorian state title race meeting in Echuca, and I actually decided to have a race, and the kids were racing, and that kind of gave me more motivation. I didn't qualify that well, and it gave me more motivation to show them a bit of racecraft, a bit of passing stuff. When one of my drivers is a bit timid with passing, so I was like, "Look, mate, you can come from a fair way back. You can do this, that," and how important it is to keep pressing on and dig deep. And I end up on the podium, which probably wasn't the quickest there, but you end up P2 for the weekend. And it shows them that if you have the right mentality and racecraft and you don't have to have the best engine and the best everything on the grid to get it done. So I think that's the bit I love about it.
Now, Nicholas, motorsport is dangerous, even if you're not actually driving a car or kart. Can we tell one of the great untold stories of the year so far about the finger heading into Bathurst 1000?
Oh, yes. Well, where was I? I was in Sepang with young Brad Madman, one of my junior drivers, and we went over there for quite a big race and all going swimmingly. And I was like, I'll do the right thing. I put a fresh axle in it for Sunday. He's had done a fair bit of work, and thinking, wait, one of my setups, but it's fine. I think we all do it. We cut the axles down to change the grip level. So I was just cutting that down and managed to basically cut my finger off in the process. Thankfully, it was on my left hand. And yeah, so I flew back with it all bandaged up after probably an hour in the medical centre there. And we're at the Spain Go-Kart Club. It's not probably the nicest medical centre, and they were literally pulling parts of the grinder off my bone. And thankfully, the doctor, by chance, there was a surgeon, and he's like, had a serious chat with me. He goes, if you don't get this fixed tomorrow in Melbourne, you're in a big drama for infection and all that. So, yeah, luckily Dr. Carl was amazing. Put me in the right touch with the right people. Had one of the best hand surgeons in Melbourne. I think I landed at midday, straight to hospital, surgery at 3 o'clock, and did an amazing job. Walked out there with no cut, like nothing on it, and said, "Oh, I'll just start moving a finger. I've sewn all the tendons back together. I've sculpted the bone back, and you'll be good to go." So yeah, I kind of drove Bathurst with a bit of a pistol look, which the karting kids found hugely hilarious because they tuned into my onboard on the supercar app or whatever, and they're all laughing at me with my gun driving around. And thankfully, it was the left hand. So yeah, wasn't ideal prep. Managed to keep it somehow down low from the team. They didn't really realise until Sunday when I took my glove off and there's stitches and blood everywhere on my hand. So, yeah, it's all good now though. But dangerous thing karting. So Bailey banned me from using the grinder the week of a supercar event at the go-kart track. So now I'll get one of the boys to do that.
There you go. What a great story. Hey, before we let you go, you've covered how you felt at a low point during the year. Summer gives you the chance, and you've got this new opportunity with MSR now, and they've had a bit of success during 2023 as well. Just give us a sense of the summer reinvigoration that you're going to enjoy here before you launch into 2024.
First thing, it's going to be like once the Adelaide Part 500 finished and still virtually done as on track stuff, it felt like a bit of a weight lifted off the shoulders. And then, already planning with Heath, my trainer, what we'll do pre-season. I'm pumped as ever. Feels like it's, I thought LDM that was definitely a lifeline, where this one was more, it was my decision, but very lucky to still be on the grid. When you look at Scotty Pye and Hazelwood missing out, it shows how tough it is to stay on the grid, especially when you're getting a little bit older. So yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait. I'll be up at the workshop more than they're probably expecting, even though I'm living in Melbourne and annoying them. So yeah, I can't wait, and it'll be Bathurst can't come quick enough with round one. And to be honest, test day one, it feels weird going to Ipswich to go testing because I've never done that ever in my career since being in a supercar or Formula Ford. I've always been Melbourne based, so it's even that's exciting. So it's a whole new leaf, which is very cool.
Awesome. It's been great to catch up with you here on the KTM Summer Grill. Thank you very much for talking to us, and we wish you the very best for the 2024 season and new adventures in supercars. Go well.
No worries. Thanks, boys, and thanks for having me at the dog park.
I love it, mate. That's great. That's great. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No worries.
Where is he?
He's got a stick. He's got a stick.
Look at you go.
Flat out. And his mate Astro.
Who's his mate?
A guy, our housemate's dog.
Oh, yeah. All right. What a beauty.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You could be a winner each episode of the Summer Grill. KTM are giving you the chance to win a bar stool, a mug, and this race-inspired clock as well. So there's more good reasons to tune in and hear from some of the stars of world motorsport here as a part of the KTM Summer Grill. All you got to do is click on the link below, fill in your details, and you could be in the running to win.